Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of the Sales Growth Club TV. I'm Chris Edwards and I'm here with Steve Knapp.
Hi Chris, hi everybody.
How are you doing?
Really well, thank you. Awesome.
Excellent. Right, this month, we are now moving on to growth management.
Yep.
And in particular, we're going to kick it off with how to set meaningful targets and goals.
Yeah.
What does this mean to you, this category?
Well, I say they're all really important, don't I? But growth management is when we start to take the sales and your business strategy that we've just left and we start to turn this into action. We start to really turn this into sales. This is where we start to see all of our plans sowing, growing shoots, and we start to see things happening.
So everything everyone's been preparing for, this is where it starts
really
to come alive.
starts to come alive. Really starts.
So, as I said, we're going to start talking this month, over the next 4 weeks, about setting meaningful targets and goals. But why should people go about setting meaningful targets and goals?
Yeah. And it's a merry dance, isn't it, sometimes? This whole cycle of target setting, reviewing performance, and we're going to talk a lot about it. But actually, why it's really important is it's your North Star. It shows you the direction of travel that you have to go on to make your business goals, to make your sales numbers, to make your financial success in your business. I don't see how a business can move along or limp along without the clarity that having targets sets.
What is a goal to you? What's a goal or a target?
Well, we talked about smart, setting them smart, but I think it's about having a purpose behind it. Really having that purpose. And we've done all in that business strategy work. We've done our stuff about really ensuring we know where we're going, our ideal clients. But this is now, right, how do I turn that activity into the outcome that I want to have? And therefore having a target for me is about giving you that purpose to get to the outcome. And that outcome is something that clearly is grounded into your business plan. Okay,
so what type of results should you be expecting when you've got meaningful targets and goals?
Well, the targets you should expect would be the outcome that you've written down as your target. I mean, if you've based your targets on reality. And a big thing that we talk about here is, are your targets realistic? And I think if they are, and realistic can be as much stretch as you feel comfortable having as an individual, or actually as much stretch as you need as a business if you've got that sort of real growth with investment. But if you've written down your goal and it's set meaningfully and it's built on the right purpose, you should be seeing the outcome that you desire.
Okay, we talk a lot about, you say about making sure they're wrote down. It's important, isn't it, to tie them back to your business plan? And we've talked about this so many times, but everything is important to be in your business plan.
Well, there is a real risk. And what are we at? We're probably at the sort of end July, early August time in our business lives where we're probably looking back and saying, is the year going to be successful? What do I need to do? So there is a real risk that what we do is that we just take on board activities, tasks and actions that we feel short term could help with our results. But because they're so distracting in terms of setting up new products, new activities, new work, they're not built into our plan, and therefore we have this disconnect between the actions we're doing and our purpose. And for the short term, that might feel good, but for the mid to the long term, I'm not so sure it's always the best thing to do. Now, I'm not saying if there's something you need to pull a handbrake and change direction that you shouldn't do that, but don't just chase the quick win if it's not part of the overall plan just because you feel that there's a quick buck.
I think that's right. When it's in your overall plan as well, you can be a bit adaptable, can't you? What he said, don't be rigid, keep being adaptable and make sure it always ties back to your business plan.
And your targets should be enabling to your business plan. They shouldn't be stifling. They shouldn't hinder your growth. In fact, they should be very complementary to it. So they shouldn't be seen as something that is negative. They should be seen as something that is very empowering. And very liberating.
Because I know from us, sometimes when some of our targets are just numbers, we've got to reach a set goal within the numbers that we make. And it is easy when you start selling one product more than the other. You start thinking, I can make it all down here and start selling that product. But that product might not be in line with your business plan, might not be in line with your future goals.
Well, exactly. So if you took the accelerator program, the online training package that I have, one of the very first things you do is you work out your business strategy, right? And you work out what percentage of your business is going to be mainstream and which percentage is going to be speciality. Are you going to be niche, or are you going to, and I think knowing that, and then knowing that you have different cycle times for those different products, maybe helps you say, okay, I know therefore I'm going to sell more of this, and I know that this is going to come, but because the cycle time's a bit longer, they're going to come, but they're going to come in time.
Yeah.
So having targets, having all that intelligence behind you is the stuff that gives you confidence to not change course if you don't have to.
Talk there about confidence and not changing course and hitting targets. Having targets, tying them to your business plan, how important is that to be able to reward and recognise yourself?
Well, for me, it's up there with the reason you wake up, right? If it's from rewarding yourself with a nice piece of cake, or whether it's as much as buying a brand new car, I think if you're not recognising the small steps, you can't as an individual take the pleasure and pride out of what you're achieving. You're not thanking other people. You're building quite a selfish, motivated outcome, where if you set targets and you measure them along the way, that can be really motivating, not only for yourself, but the people around you, to know that things are progressing in the right way as per the plan. And I'm thanking you for the help you're giving me doing it.
So that is just kind of an overview of moving into setting meaningful targets and how important growth management is. Over the next 4 weeks, we are going to be picking up a lot on growth management and using everything that we've talked about in the previous months and how it applies to really making sales in your business now. And Steve's going to be on hand, as always, to answer questions you might have in the group. So do ask any questions you might have. So let us know. Do you have meaningful targets? What are they? If you're willing to share with the group, always let us know what they are so other people can learn kind of what they should be setting themselves, what other people are setting to help them learn from that. But from us till here, that's all we got time for this week. But we will be back next week to talk about the frustrations that we and you have when setting meaningful targets, when things don't quite go to plan. But until next week, thank you. Have a great week, everyone. And make sure that you do take advantage of Steve in the Sales Mindset Growth Club. I'm Chris from Steve. Have a great week.